I'm going to share something with you that'll blow your mind. And honestly, man, I wish somebody would have told me this a long time ago. 80% of what you might be dealing with right now may come down to only 20% of the real issues. Let me break this down for you. And stick with me here and I'll show you how you can change just a few things in your life. And man, it will yield tremendous results. This is the Pareto principle in action, the 80-20 rule. It's the idea that a small portion of causes leads to the majority of results. And the Pareto principle is observed all over the place. For example, 80% of the wealth in the world is owned by just 20% of the people. In business, 80% of a company's revenue typically comes from just 20% of their customers. And let me tell you, this principle can absolutely apply to your life, your relationships, and your recovery from addiction. Let's start with relationships. 20% of your friends, the ones who genuinely care, who love you unconditionally, your true friends, are the foundation of your support system. The other 80%, man, they're just acquaintances. They may not be there when life gets hard. And then there's another 20%, those toxic people who bring 80% of the negativity, drama, and chaos into your life. It's time to let God help you prune those relationships. John 15:2 says, He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit. So surround yourself with people who breathe life into you and speak the truth to you in love. Now, let's look at your behaviors. 20% of your actions may be creating 80% of your struggles. Maybe it's how you respond to stress, react out of fear, or certain decisions that you make without even thinking. Proverbs 3:5-6 tells us to trust the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. Let God guide those actions, because when you shift just that 20%, man, your life transforms. Finally, let's talk about recovery from addiction. Think about your triggers. 20% of them may be responsible for 80% of your cravings. It might be that specific environment, that one memory, or even one conversation that tries to pull you back into the old habits. But there is hope. James 1:5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given. Man, lean on God for wisdom in identifying those triggers and trust that He will provide the strength to overcome them. Now, let's bring this all together. Faith. Man, faith is powerful, and it works just like the Pareto principle itself. A small measure can lead to an extraordinary outcome. Matthew 17:20 tells us, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. That mustard seed faith can transform your relationships, shift your behaviors, and conquer your cravings. God uses even the smallest faith to move the biggest mountains in your life. This principle isn't just about numbers. It's about clarity, focus, and leaning into God's wisdom and grace to make the changes that matter the most. Look, you don't have to tackle everything. Start with that 20% that has the greatest impact. And with faith as your foundation, watch God move in powerful ways. Hey, if this message spoke to you, do me a favor and share it. Let it touch somebody else's life like it did yours. You never know who needs to hear this truth today. Man, God bless you. Have a great day.